and welcome to a new weekly crafting vlog. So in last week's video you would have seen that this jumper was long enough for my son. So today I'm going to start with the 1x1 ribbing as it states in the pattern. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done so then I can start on the sleeves. Ben, are you excited to have the jumper finished?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Can I be in it?
If you want.
Okay.
Are you excited for your jumper to be finished?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I think Ben's excited for his jumper to be finished, so I best get on with it. Okay, so it's the next day. I didn't film much yesterday, mainly because the morning was spent like editing my knit and stitch vlog, which is out now if you haven't seen it. But what I wanted to show you was the progress on the sleeves. So I did cast off on the hem. I didn't make a very big one, mainly because it was already quite long in length, so I didn't want to add too much extra length to it, but just enough to make a cute little ribbing at the bottom. And then I moved on to the sleeves. So I'm actually using... You okay, Ben?
Yeah, that's my shirt.
That's your jumper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, the needles that I'm using, for the first time actually, I actually purchased these from Craft House Magic, my friend
Magic.
Ellie.
Magic.
Anyway, these are the Knit Pro Zing mini tips. So these are the Knit Pro Zing minis. So these are like shorty tips and they're perfect for doing sleeves in the round. So yeah, I am using the smallest cable that come with the kit. I did order some extras as well, but I believe these are like 10.8 inches, I believe. So they're a little bit bigger than a 9-inch circular, what I would use for socks, if I was to knit socks. I've only done one and that didn't go so well. Anyway, I'm knitting in the round and this is how far I've got. So hang on, I'll show you a bit better. Yeah, this is how far I've got. And yeah, it's working up quite quickly, as do socks really. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to continue on with that. But I do have so many other projects that I want to do, that I want to finish. Yeah, I'm just a bit overwhelmed at the moment because since going to the Knit and Stitch show on Friday, I had so much inspiration to cast on a Stephen West shawl. Now, I do have 2 jumpers on the go. I have another shawl on the go which is kind of, you know, put to the side because I do need to rip back a few rows on that. Yeah, as a crafter, there's always so much to do. But I do want to get a few things finished before I do start the Stephen West shawl. And I think that is the next thing that I want to start. I did recently buy a pattern for the mixed media shawl. I don't know if you remember me saying. And I bought yarn for that at Yarndale. But I want to cast on the Stephen West shawl. But it is in my stash, ready to cast on another time. So yeah, I'm going to work more on the sleeves because I reckon they'll get done really quickly. Because all I've got left to do on this jumper is the 2 sleeves. So once I've done them, it'll be finished. So yeah, I'll do more on the sleeve. Okay, so I decided to put a stitch marker in to see how much progress I'm making. So yeah, I've made this much progress, I don't know, in an hour? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd show you that. So yeah, one thing I want to say is hello to all my new subscribers. I've had quite a lot in the last month, and I think it's down to the fact that I produced a Yarndale vlog and now the Knit and Stitch Show vlog. And I think I did an oldie vlog as well, which sort of gained a lot of traction. But yeah, anyway, hello to all my new subscribers. I think I should do more Yarn Festival vlogs. But no, I can't do all of them. I do have a family to look after. But yeah, anyway, I'm working on this. I think I'll just continue working on this, really. I won't really film much of me doing it because it'll just look like the same clips, basically. But anyway, I'm coming to the end of the ball. I've got that much left. So I think I've used 3 balls so far to make this. Well, I've not finished it. And when I say 3 balls, they are only 50 grams each. So yeah, 150 grams I've used so far, like to get to this stage. So yeah, I probably will only need not even 1 more ball. How many did I buy? I think I bought 5, did I? I can't remember. But I've got more than enough to finish this jumper. I did get some yarn for a jumper for me, but that can wait. But yeah, I will work more on this, and I've put a little stitch marker in here. Oh, let me show you actually. So this stitch marker is by Loret's Crafts UK, and I bought that at Yarndale, so I thought that was quite apt, putting a little jumper stitch marker on there. So one thing I never mentioned was that I have just passed my 1 year YouTube anniversary. So on the 10th of September 2025 is when I had got to 1 year of being on YouTube, you know, like releasing videos. So yeah, we're 1 year, 1 month into it. And I've got like 1,600 subscribers, which I think is amazing. I think I've been monetized since about June, I want to say. So yeah, not even a year of being on YouTube and my channel was monetized, which is great because yeah, I do get a little bit back from sort of creating these videos, only if they, you know, get a certain amount of views, obviously. As I said, I have released a few videos recently on sort of like yarn shows and that sort of thing, and I think they gain, you know, the most traction, really. So let me know in the comments down below if you are a new subscriber because of the Yarn Festival videos, but you also choose to watch my weekly crafting vlogs as well. That'll be interesting to know, because sometimes, you know, people only subscribe for certain videos and they're not really interested in the rest, if that makes sense. At least, you know, I only watch certain videos. I do like podcasts, I like weekly crafting vlogs, but I don't see many out there, to be honest with you. But what I choose to put out on YouTube is what I like to watch as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching them too. So anyway, I'll continue on this sleeve and I will check back in with you when there's a little bit more progress. Okay, so I'm at the end of my ball of yarn. Just need to attach the new one. Okay, so new ball attached. I will work on this for the rest of the evening. But first, I've got a takeaway to eat. Okay, so I've not really recorded much today, but I wanted to see how this fit against Ben, because I did work on the sleeves a little bit more last night. So Ben, can you pop your arms down for me? Pop your arm down straight for me. Okay, so I've got a little bit more to go. I just basically wanted to put it on Ben so I could see roughly how far I needed to go. But yeah, I've got...
Oh, sorry.
You're all right. Yeah, I've got a few more inches to go before I move on to the cuff. Okay, so now I know how that's looking on Ben. I can continue with the sleeve. But what I'll probably do is take one of his jumpers, like the one he's wearing, and just literally place it against it to see how far I've got to go with the arm. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do with the jumper. So I hadn't recorded anything for the weekly crafting vlog, mainly because I was doing a pumpkin tutorial. So I've made this today. Yeah, look at that. So if you were interested in making your own pumpkin, I've got a tutorial now. So it's been a long time coming because, I mean, I've made tons of these last year with my own pattern. I mean, to be fair, it's really, really basic. Head over to the tutorial and you'll find out. But yeah, it's such a basic pattern, but I just wanted to release it because there's a lot of beginners out there who might want to make a crochet pumpkin. So yeah, I released it just as a nice beginner friendly tutorial basically. But yeah, look at that. I'm going to put that on the side now with my other pumpkins. But anyway, one thing I did want to do was rip back on my right round the corner shawl, and I've not had the guts to do it. I might potentially just leave it as, no, I shouldn't leave it really. I should in fact rip it back where it should be. I don't want one plain chunky white stripe in amongst the other nice uniform stripes at the end of the day. But yeah, I need to pluck up the courage to rip it back. I think I might do that. Okay, so I have moved my right round the corner shawl into this project bag. This was by Nicola of TK Can Make. I believe I bought that at the afternoon tea. But yeah, I've put my right round the corner shawl in this bag. So if I get it out, I can show you exactly what I've done. It's probably better on this side. So yeah, can you see how I've done maybe like 1 or 2 extra rows? Don't know how well you can see that. It is a bit chunkier. Yeah, one of my viewers said something about putting a lifeline in there, but I'm not really sure how to do that. Do I leave it? Do you know what? I think I'm going to leave it. It looks like it's like halfway. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I think I've done a few extra rows. I don't think I've got the courage to rip it back because there's quite a lot of stitches on there now. I think I'm going to leave it as it is and just continue. Okay, so I think I've decided to rip it back. I'm going to zoom in to let you see the chaos. Oh my God, here goes. Oh, already done some. I'm just hoping they stay put. Okay, it's off the needles. Okay, I've got to be really careful here. So I know that I need to rip 1 row back or a couple of rows. I don't know, probably a couple of rows. Okay, so the stitches are actually staying there. Okay, so I think it is literally 2 rows that I need to rip back. So after this one, I'm going to pick up all the stitches and be so careful. Right. Can you grab me my pencil case on the side?
Pencil case?
Yeah, I've dropped a stitch. I've done it. Yay! Okay, so I did it. I ripped back and picked up all these stitches. Yeah, I think I'm up to the right place. So if I show you now, it might be hard to see, but I think I'm back to where I started because now on the end I have both yarns attached. So now all I need to do is drop the white yarn and then bring up the purple and then start knitting with that. Whew. So now I'm on this stage. I think I will knit a few rows just to make sure that I'm in sort of the right place, I guess. It looks like I am, but yeah, to be sure, I'm gonna knit a couple of rows on this. I haven't worked on this for a while because I had done 1 too many rows. Well, I think I ripped back 2 rows because yeah, I think I had done 2 more rows. Anyway, I don't know why I was stressing about it so much. Okay, I think I've twisted some of these stitches because they're a little bit tight on my needles, but I'm sure that won't notice too much. Okay, so I have knit one row since picking up the stitches, and some of them were a little bit difficult, to be honest. I think I would have twisted them, but when I picked them up, I had no idea which way to pick them up. Yeah, some experienced knitters out there might be just screaming at the screen right now, but I've done my best. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Some bits look a bit funny, but at least it's uniform with the rest of the stripes now. So yeah, I can continue with that and it won't look out of place. Do you know what? It's not too bad. Yeah. So yeah, I'll continue on this actually. Now I've picked it up again. I did have to refer to the pattern just to see exactly the stitches that I had to do, because although it's very easy, like a 2-row repeat, there is something that I have to do at the beginning and end of the first row. So I just had to look that up just to see what I had to do. So yeah, I'll continue more on this, I think. This is much easier to knit. Do you know what? I'm glad that I picked this up and ripped back. I don't know what all the fuss was about. I think I was just overplaying it in my head that something drastic would go wrong. But I'm a beginner knitter. I've not had to do that before. But now I have. If that happens again on another project, I know that I can rip back with a lot of stress. So as I said, I hadn't filmed much earlier for my weekly crafting vlog because I was doing a crochet tutorial, which I did show you the crochet pumpkin. I did say that I'd get more videos out for you. I wasn't doing Vlogtober, but I did say that I'd sort of put more videos out there. So you've had the knit and stitch show, which was, you know, what, a day ago or so. And then you've had crochet pumpkin tutorial. Another thing that was on my list was autumn/winter knitting plans. However, don't know when I'm going to do that, so that might potentially be like a winter knitting plans in the November. Yeah, I haven't got that one out yet. So I did plan to record my podcast tomorrow. However, there is something that I need to attend at the school now, so that probably won't happen until maybe next week. I don't know, it's been just over a month now since I released my last podcast, but hey ho. At least you get to see me working on projects in the weekly crafting vlogs. So I've come to the end of a 2-row repeat and I think that's looking much better. So yeah, I'll continue more on that and see you later. Okay, so after working a few rows, you can see the row that I ripped back. So there's a few sort of discrepancies. It's not perfect, but when I've done the whole shawl, I don't actually think you'll be able to notice really. So it's actually this row here. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, some of the stitches just a little bit, I don't know, it don't actually look that bad on camera, but there are a few discrepancies that I can notice. I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I think that's why I ripped back. So yeah, I'm gonna just continue working on it. Okay, so it's the next day. You would have seen yesterday that I put this up to Ben just to see, you know, how long it was on him. But I have just looked at the pattern and I've measured the length of the arm and I need to start decreasing when it's like 8.5 inches. So it's currently 8 inches. So I have repositioned my stitch marker just here. So I need to do like another 1/2 inch before I start like decreasing basically. And it's not a decrease every round as well, which I did make a mistake with my sock. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake again. No one likes a rapid decrease. Anyway, I'm going to knit another 1/2 inch and then just keep measuring until I need to decrease. Okay, so I've moved through to the kitchen because my husband's having lunch in the living room. Anyway, yeah, I've made a bit more progress. So where the stitch marker is how much progress I've made. And in fact, these are all like the decrease rows. So if I show you here, you can actually see like where these sort of peculiar bits are. So there's one side that's a slip slip knit, which is this one here. And then the last one is a knit 2 together. Now, I think, showing you up closer, the knit 2 together looks a lot neater than the slip slip knit. Now, they're both decreases. Why have they chosen to do 2 different decreases in the pattern if one looks worse than the other? Yeah. So yeah, you can see the decreases, but it is under the like underside of the arm. So hopefully you won't be able to see it too much. But yeah, I don't know why there's 2 different options for decreases. But anyway, that is the progress. So I've done all my decreases for this sleeve. I now need to knit it, so it's like 11.5 inches according to the pattern for his size. I have just measured it and I think it's 11 inches from the underarm. So I've only got a little bit to knit before I do the ribbon. So that's exciting, isn't it? Because if I hold it up like this, yeah, you can see the sleeve is proper getting there with the length. That's rolling up a bit. Hang on, it's not blocked yet, still rolling up. There we go, that looks a bit better. So yeah, it is getting there. So I think I might stop on this for the moment until my son gets home from school, just so I can properly, you know, hold it up against him to see how long the sleeve is on him. Because this size that I'm knitting is a 6 to 8 years size and he's 5.5, although he's fairly tall for his age, I think. But anyway, I'm going to put this down for the moment. I do have about just less than an hour until I need to be at the school. That's not for the school run. It's only 12:20, but I do have something at the school at 1:15. Yeah, it's like a group talk and the focus is like kids matter. So I guess it'll be focusing on different things parenting wise, I'm not sure. But the school was really keen for me to sort of attend. But yeah, hopefully it'll help with parenting and things like that. Not that I'm a bad parent, but you know, he's just a little bit more difficult than most kids his age. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to put this down and I'll work on my right around the corner shawl, I think, because I did tink back yesterday, as you would have seen, and I'm so pleased I did that because it was one of them things as a beginner that I was just a bit scared of doing. One of my viewers did say that I could put like a lifeline in, which I believe you go in with a needle and some yarn or scrap yarn, and then you know, pick up the stitches that way a few rows down before you rip out. However, you know, when you look at the sort of fabric, it's like, oh, where do I go? So yeah, I didn't do that, but instead I went full on ripping out the needles. So that's what I did, and when I mean, I did pick up the stitches, but some, I was picking some up, I guess, the right way and some the wrong way, because when I went to knit the second row, I did notice that some stitches were easier to knit than others. Some were a little bit tight to knit, so I'm guessing those stitches that I picked up were the wrong way round. But anyway, it's done. I've knit, you know, like about an inch or so, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. You can hardly tell where I ripped back. There's the odd discrepancy, you know, it's not perfect, but you can't really tell, to be honest. I think it would have been a lot worse if I hadn't have ripped back and left that row like a thicker row than the rest. You would definitely have noticed that. But yeah, anyway, I'll get my right around the corner shawl and work on that. Okay, so I'm back from the school and the school run because it finished just before pickup. But yeah, this is what I attended. So it's called Kids Matter, and there's loads of different sessions on sort of different subjects. So yeah, I attended that. That was really good. And they give us a little like goodie bag just for us, not the kids. So when I did get home, I tried this against Ben, and I just need to do the ribbon now because the length of the arm is long enough. So if I hold it up, as I showed you before, it is just a little bit past the length of the body. So it is ready for the ribbing, and then I can cast it off. I'm probably only going to do a small amount for the ribbing, just like I did with the hem, because the hem wasn't overly sort of long. So yeah, that's as much as I'd done, and I think that will be enough for the cuff. So yeah, one sleeve is nearly done, which I think I'll work on now actually, because the last thing I worked on was the right around the corner shawl. I did take it along with me to the school, but we were just chatting so much that I had no time to knit. But anyway, yeah, I will do the cuff to get it finished. Well, to get the sleeve finished. So I have finished the ribbing. So that is one sleeve done. I've literally got one more sleeve to do. So yeah, I'm so happy with that. So yeah, anyway, I've got a craft group later, which I haven't been to in a few weeks actually. It's the craft group that I run with my friend Ellie. So yeah, it's Tuesday today, so I'm going along to that. But I do need to make tea. So I'll put this down. I'll probably pick up the sleeves later on tonight once I get back from craft group. That's not something that I'll do at craft group. I'll probably take my right around the corner shawl. Nice easy project, and I'll probably put a stitch marker in just to see how much progress I get done in the sort of 3 hours that I'm there. So yeah, I think that'll be quite interesting to see. So anyway, I'll probably see you a little bit later at craft group. Okay, so I'm back home from craft group. Let me show you the progress that I made. So I did put a stitch marker in, and I've made this much progress. So there's the stitch marker. And yeah, obviously the rows are getting a bit longer now. But yeah, I've done that much progress. So it is getting there. I just need to do this until I've used 50% of both balls. But yeah, I don't know how much more I've got to go, but we will see. I've just got to make sure that I keep weighing it from now, I think. Yeah, I've got a little bit more to go, I reckon. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I forgot how much I really enjoy knitting on this shawl. It's simple 2-row repeat. And yeah, as I said before, I'm really pleased I tinked back like a couple of rows, because I definitely would have noticed it. I'll see if I can show you where I tinked back. Yeah, I think it was this row here. So I have done a bit more since I ripped back. I just love how squishy this fabric is. This is Lay Family yarn that I'm using. So yeah, I really like it. And as you can see along the edge here, this is where I pick up stitches to add like the solid colours. So yeah, it's really nice and easy to see where to pick up, which is great for me. I love anything easy. So yeah, it's actually 1:30 in the morning. I normally do this before a night shift. I stay up as late as I can, usually with a bit of crafting and editing, and then yeah, just go to bed at like 3-4 in the morning, and then wake up at 7 for the school run, and then go back to bed about 10-11 o'clock. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, that's how I prepare for a night shift, and I've done it for quite a while, to be honest, and it works perfectly for me. So anyway, I'll get more knitting progress done, and I'll probably see you in a few days after my night shifts. Good morning. It is a few days later. So just finished a couple of night shifts, had a shower, got all nice and clean, and I'm ready to have a day of crafting. So I just wanted to show you the progress of my son's jumper, because I have been knitting on it in the background, sort of, you know, in between like going to work in the morning before I go to bed. So yeah, obviously I finished one sleeve, as you would have seen earlier, and I have started the second sleeve. So yeah, I picked up the stitches and I'm just working in the round on my little Knit Pro sort of minis. Yeah, these needles are perfect. So they come in this little case, and when you open it up, it's got them all organised in this little sort of slot. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, you've got all the different size needles. So you've got size 3 up to size 6. Yeah, there's 3, 3.5, 3.75, which I am currently using. 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5 and 6. So these I purchased just to knit sleeves in the round, and I think all the sizes are pretty much covered there. I'm finding these absolutely fantastic for knitting sleeves in the round. So I want to say they're about just over £50, I think. But yeah, these are just literally the Knit Pro Zing, like mini tips. Great purchase if you ask me. So yeah, that's currently the progress on the jumper. If I fold it in half, let's have a look to see how much I've got to do. So roughly, I've got this much more to knit, if you see where this needle is, or the cable. So yeah, I've not got a huge amount to do, to be honest with you. Because they're on short sort of circumference needles and knitting in the round, it's working up pretty quick. And to be honest with you, this amount for the sleeve was done literally in between night shifts, so not a huge amount of time, to be honest with you, like half an hour here and there. So yeah, obviously that's something that I will continue, because I want to get this finished so I can cast something else on, or at least get it near to being finished so I don't feel guilty for casting something else on. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So obviously a few weeks ago, I met Stephen West at the Knit and Stitch show, and I had so much inspiration to cast on my own Stephen West shawl. So I'm not doing the mystery knit along this year. I have been seeing the clues, and it's not really taking my fancy, if I'm honest with you. And I'd much rather knit a shawl that I know how it looks. And the painting honeycombs shawl is on my list to do, and I've got the yarn for it. So I'm really tempted to ball up all the yarn for it and just kind of put it to the side, like ready to go, so that when I finish this jumper, I can just get started. So yeah, I think I might do that today actually, whilst my son's at school, and I've got a bit of peace and quiet to do so. So yeah, I think I'll do that actually. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the yarn. So these are the minis that I'm using. So these are 100% cashmere minis in like rainbow colours. Yeah, I will pick out the colours I quite like. And they're these ones here, you know, the purples, the blues. They're like nice jewel tones, to be honest with you. But yeah, look at all those. But anyway, I'm going to do a bit of a rainbow sort of shawl. And for the contrast colour, I've got this. So this is in the colourway After Dark. It's a Luxe 4-ply, which is 70% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. So I chose this from Shannon, Blue Fern Yarns, because it had a bit of cashmere in it, and because I'm using it with the 100% cashmere, I needed something, you know, with the same sort of softness. So yeah, I'm going to do all these together. I think I might do these first and then do the minis. Okay, so I've done it. I have caked up all the mini skeins and the 2 balls of 4-ply. So actually what I have is 24 mini skeins, and then I had a white for like swatching, that sort of thing. So 10 grams each per colour. And yeah, it's like opening an advent. So yeah, I am quite eager to cast on. However, I want to do more on the sleeve for Ben's jumper, because once that's finished, I'll be more eager to cast this on. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to do more on the jumper. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I have been working on the sleeve. I have just put these together and I want to show you how much more I've got left. So I'm currently at the point where I need to decrease. So let me show you. Yeah, so I am about up to here, which is the first decrease. If I hold it back a bit, you can see where it sort of tapers in a little bit. So I'm currently up to here. On the other sleeve, that is, and I need to start decreasing really. So yeah, I think I'll round off this video here. I'm not going to be able to finish this in this vlog. So yeah, I think I'll round off the video here. But anyway, thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you have, leave me a yarn ball emoji, obviously. And if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.